is nothing else. No one's coming to get them. Instantly, you have to be your own surgeon. You have to be your own professional extractor to get people who are wounded out of this refuse with your bare hands and a pick and a shovel, and then you got to try to figure out how to keep them alive if you can. Here's a picture of a so-called looter coming out of someplace. I remember one I saw was a girl. She's stealing, looks like some clothes. Do you stay in the same clothes all week? Anybody? Do you? Do you shit your pants and piss yourself and still stay in the same stuff? You got blood and vomit and dried human flesh on your clothes. You wouldn't want to change them? Right? There's a store there's got racks and racks of clothes. This girl was barefoot, walking through broken glass, broken stones, and whatever pieces of metal may have been used to hold them together to try to steal some rags of clothes so you could change yourself. I imagine if there's 3 million women in Haiti, there's probably got to be a few tens of thousands that are having their period. They can't go in somewhere and get a box of something or, a change of clothes. You got to live in it, because if you steal something from the corporations, you will be shot. It is our money, not yours, you dirty black people. So they put a little sign up on the road to say, what do we need? We need help. That's what we need. Help. Food. Water. I can guarantee you every big fat politician we got is stuffing his face so bad. It's just amazing. But will they spend one dime more to go down and help those people? I doubt it. They just make a circus out of the whole affair. But that's what governments are for. Governments are for killing their people, not helping them. I brought it up with the Canadian government when Comrade Harper got elected the first time to say, we need a disaster relief ship. We have to take HMCS Provider, which was going to be sunk as a dive wreck, restore her, and put her out to sea to go to places like Haiti. There were like 3 MPs and the whole useless lot of these mothers that thought that was a good idea. 3. The rest just said, well, we just throw money at the problem. Some sticks, some get stolen. It doesn't matter. A supply ship for a defense naval task force holds a lot of stuff. They were going to give me the ship, but I don't have a place to park it. So I asked our good buddy and former Prime Minister Paul Martin if he could maybe lend me a couple of people for technical advice that were on his staff at Canada Steamship Lines. Deaf ears there, baby. Deaf ears. The only honorable member that I can remember of the other 2 twits that, were half-ass interested was former Prime Minister Joe Clark. And that's what got some of the things going where I could have HMCS Provider and be prepared for. You know how much it costs to send 2 destroyers to New Orleans? You know how much it costs to send 2 destroyers down there? We could have kept Provider at sea for a long time for that kind of money. And you know what? You can even put stuff on it. Destroyers aren't very big. They're not cargo ships. It would have been a nice, useful tool for Canadians to send aid, because this stuff always happens. That's why we have fire departments and emergency services. These things always happen. So what do? You build a firehouse and a fire truck. No-brainer. There's always going to be another major disaster. What do? You put together a naval task force with some of our wonderful, rich G20 nations that's totally geared to doing rescue work, as opposed to strategic force projection like the USS Nimitz. So one comment went around the world about our good buddy, our religious guy here, Pat Robertson. They made a big deal about him, saying something about how Haiti was cursed and this was coming back to get him. But of course, they leave out something that comes from the American administration that is probably far worse, where the former U.S. diplomat from Haiti says that the whole reason that they have these problems is because they don't know anything about birth control. But of course, that doesn't get any media attention much. It was in reference to the CNN and New York Times, but they don't pick up on it like, you know, dragging the dead dog through the street stories that are important. But Haiti was the narco experience for the United States. 14% of all cocaine goes through Haiti. They've established a puppet government to help get that through. Senator Kerry wrote a big report on this back in the day, tracking all this stuff. I guess we're starting to run out of time. How are we doing for time, Blue? We got the wrap-up minute coming down, the final warning, and we can carry on with some of this material later after we wash the filth off our bodies from just thinking about, you know, the useless people we have in government. When you're in an emergency situation, it's just, you got to do something. There's no time to have study groups and sessions and meetings and all that. It's just move now. Maybe it's because I have some military background and such like that, where you know what the beautiful size 10 boot on your ass feels like, and you just go, 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 go. I was one of the first officers on the scene at the Mississauga train derailment when that happened back in '79. I know full well what it's like to be alone and overwhelmed. Call my duty inspector. It's all up to you, son. You're all on your own till sunrise. Maybe we'll get somebody from Niagara Falls to come and help you. Well, what do? You take charge and you just do what you can. But it appears these turkeys have no concepts. Like what we've sent with one field hospital is like 2 5-gallon pails and a siphon hose going to the Titanic. It'll save a few lives. At least we can be grateful for that. But 3 days from now, 30,000 people will die. It's not enough. Mobilize your governments wherever you are and tell them to get off their keisters and do something, because these people don't deserve to be treated like this, to be ignored to death just so they can be bulldozed into another hole. Anyway, you know what some of the conspiracies are. You know what some of the facts are. We thank you for listening. We'll be here again next week. Same that time, same that channel. We have some other people building some secret devices here to practice Tesla technology or something in the wings. I can see smoke coming out of the back. And we're a little worried there. Mrs. Steele is waving, and she's happy, so God bless her. She's a real trooper. Lenny, too. So stay tuned for these guys. They'll give you a little twist. I didn't have time to do my Vatican assassin spiel. We'll have to get into that. We still have time before the Olympics. A lot of news there. So thank you for listening, and say your prayers for Haiti. Good night.